I'm not trying to be anyone special. Never wanted to be a hero. Just a man who saw the fire. And I've got 0 fucks left to give. Nothing. Nada. 0. I've told you before, I'm not here to coddle, not here to make you feel good. I'm here to be heard, to warn you. Understood. Understood. There's a war coming, the horizon storm. Though I'm unsure the exact time, unsure of its final form. But I know it's real close to our shore, and I'm not wasting breath on pretty words anymore. That's why I speak plainly. There's only so much time, and I've only got one life I can live. Time changes a man, and I've got 0 fucks left to give.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm trying to get us in focus. There it is. Welcome to Fight Club. How is everybody? Gonna try to get this show to go. We are very, for some reason, right before the show, maybe 15 minutes ago, I just got this wave of incredible exhaustion in my head. It's like my allergies or something just hit me, and I think it did. My nose is stuffed, my eyes is stuffy. I can't see out of my eyes. They're stuffy. They hurt. Yeah, it's weird. Yesterday, we just slept through the entire day. The whole day was a wash. Day, night, everything. All I did was sleep. And I didn't mean to. Slept right through. The Goof On never set up the show, and I was so mad because I wanted to do a good show for you. I wanted to talk about the issues with these videos that just came out from the government. And especially the chandelier. What a stupid video it is. I made a video today. You guys could check it out based on that video. That's right, I made a video. Who does this? Me? But I did. And it's all right. I mean, I'm not like vetted yet, but I need a little more. I got to get back into the groove of making these videos, you know. But it's okay, you know. Some of the clips I was going to show tonight that are on in the video I made. You know, it's got 156 views in 5 hours. It's really rolling now. I'd be happy if it got 500. I tell you, I don't know, man. A video like that should get 5,000 views. It really should. Anyway, Donnie Creel. How you doing, DC? What's up, everybody? Glenn Collins is in the house. Jeanette, the angel of Shoeshine. Hey, Shoeshine boy. I don't know why it came out weird. What's up, Fleischer? How you doing? Chandelier reactions were yay, gay. Oh, thanks, Brian. Brian Yates said, I enjoyed video. Nice surprise. Yeah, it was a surprise, right? I'm going to start trying to do those twice a week. Eventually, we'll do them every day, and then there will only be one live show a week. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I could get away from doing the live. You know, it takes twice as long to make those videos than it does to do a live show. Easily. I could have spent another 2 hours on it if I wanted to put extremely obscure details in there that, that are cool. But I figured, you know what? Thanks, Metalhead. I'll get there. I've been kind of foggy all day. It's been a weird day. What's up, babe? How you doing? Glenn Collins, Metalhead, everybody's showing up. Thanks, Brian Yates. Yeah, I am just, hopefully, I'll pick it up here. But here, I'll give you a little peekaboo of the video. It's nothing really, I didn't put music with it or only with the video, it's not like a third phase of moon video. But, just regular. This is the way.
Journalist and co-host of the Weaponized podcast, Jeremy Corbell, is the one who released that video. And today he dropped yet another image of a separate UFO sighting. It's being called the chandelier UFO because of its shape. A new documentary series hosted by Corbell shows the moment he speaks to an unidentified U.S. intelligence official about this puzzling image.
So what was the most impressive thing to you about this video, which the world has not?
Listen to this. Listen to what this guy says. The reason I'm doing this tonight and made that video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just this part. Listen to what this guy says about the chandelier UFO.
Not seen yet.
The fact that it makes no sense. It is just the most bizarre structure with no purpose and with speed that has everyone across the intelligence community just asking questions and trying to figure out what this thing is.
Everybody across the entire intelligence community, and we can't figure out what it is. Yet it's on the internet for 20 minutes and everybody knew it. Everybody knew what it was. Idiots! What is the matter with this field, man? You don't trust government. Now, why would he say such a thing? Because he doesn't know shit about cameras, and he has no intelligence. Why is he working in the intelligence community if he's got no education? He got no education.
There's no wings. There's seemingly no place for anyone to sit on.
Stupid.
It's just a bizarre shape.
Hey, everybody, it's Rich from Goof On. Well, they dumped a pile of something back on public again, and this time, well, just like last time, underwhelming is the word I keep hearing going around. Ain't that the truth? So, check the video out. The video's out there on the channel whenever you get a chance. It's only 30 minutes, give or take. But it came out all right. People know I do a live show at this hour, right? All right. Just saying. It's just bizarre to me that guy who works in the intelligence agency telling us that he talked to his friends, well, telling Corbell, everybody in the intelligence community has no idea. These are the people in charge of our UFO programs? No wonder why nothing is ever figured out. No wonder why Corbell gets all that evidence, right? And then we figure it out within the first 2 hours what it is. See, Jeremy Corbell he puts himself in an interesting position, I figured out. He puts himself in a position, one, where he's gaining the trust of people in the military who don't want us to know their identification. That's a lot in my book, for people to trust other people, especially civilians and people in the UFO world. Backstabbers, most of you. You know who you are, and you know what you did, right? So they give Corbell, I'll just use the, what was the one that everybody freaked out with, the bokeh, right? So he gets these triangle things, Now, Corbell is a videographer, a documentarian. He works with cameras. He should have known, or did he know what bokeh was, right? Of course, I think he did. But what Corbell, the position he's in, is one of trust. Trust that he is going to give the exact information out to the public that was given to him by the people in the military, whatever, right? So they tell him this was seen by guys on the, SS Minnow, and there were 40 people. They all saw it. They couldn't believe their eyes. And they tell this great story, right? But they figured it out. They figured out what it was. And that, oh no, it was just a drone that can go in and out of water. We didn't know. They've never seen it, right? They all got fooled. They all thought, oh man, I thought it was a UFO. But it was recorded. And they give this evidence, this is all hypothetical, but they give it to Jeremy Corbell with that story that everybody was, all 40 of us didn't know what it was. It was amazing. Came right out of the water. It hovered, then it took off. So Corbell comes to the public with that information. Now, Corbell could easily say, this is bullshit. I'm not giving this to the world. But he has a job to do. And that job is to give the community what they want him to give out. You know? They want him to relay that story to the public. Because it fooled 40 people. It'll fool 40 million, 400 million, 4 billion. So that's why Jeremy gives us that horrible evidence all the time. Because it's going to trick us at first. And all they care about are the people who think it's a conspiracy and it's not debunked. Everybody wants us to believe this chandelier is a flare. It's not debunked. That thing is flying on its own. You know, you got the dumb people out there, right? So they're hoping the dummies will spread more lies instead of telling the truth. And we know half the country is very capable of that. So that's the story. They are giving Corbell junk, knowing what it is, but Corbell tells the world exactly what they wanted us to hear. Not Corbell's opinion. So we all get mad at Corbell saying, he should have known. Why is he doing this? He'll never get another shred of evidence if he doesn't play the game. They won't talk to him anymore. If he even says it or shrugs his shoulders when they give him that information, he's done. So he plays the game. Thank you so much. Oh, this is amazing. In the back of his mind, he goes, more frickin' flares. God dang it, I'm going to have my ass handed to me. He knows it's Bolsheviks. Right? It's Bolsheviks. And that's where we are. The whole thing is Bolsheviks. It was extremely underwhelming. Now, the video you just saw with Corbell talking to somebody in the military who should know what this object is, but acts like it is the most strange. Now, you all know the video. This is it. I didn't play the whole thing the other day. There's the parachute. We'll go back. There's the flares, and I have the debunk on this video. I'll show it to you. Watch up here now. Here comes the parachutey. The wind is blowing this. What? Wait, what? Whoa. can easily tell. Look, this goes this way, this goes this way. It's the give and go and the yin and yang of wind and gravity. There it is. You can definitely see that's a parachute. It even looks like one, right? Right? Right. Can I... Will that... Ah, your mother's monkey. Look at that. If that's not a parachute, my name ain't Jish Zhuzhuzhu. Isn't that horrible? This goes this way, this goes this way, and then when this comes around over on this side, this will go over here. It's the yin and yang, everybody, to give and go. How embarrassing, right? See? Woo! And the military intelligence. We have no idea. Jeremy, we're beyond ourselves. We can't figure it out. All you gotta do is look. Stupid.
It's a big game. It probably is to some people, to the Barack Obamas of the world, who in February, a few short months ago, said, yeah, aliens are real. They're not at Area 51.
Remember that?
I can confirm, though, that they're out there. And he said this kind of flippantly in an interview, and it went berserker mode. Of course, Brian Tyler Cohen, my arch nemesis on YouTube, refused to ask a follow-up question to this.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
How do you not ask a follow-up question to that exactly? Are you talking about illegal aliens? Well, the follow-up was from President Trump, who said that Barack Obama was sharing classified information. Then Donald Trump said he's going to be releasing all of the UFO files. Those UFO files allegedly are about to be released because just yesterday, Kash Patel said, no, I've turned them all, like all the documents have been turned over.
Instead,
it's all like
probably, and my faith tells me, we
So all of these drops that we're supposed to get can come out right now all at once, or they're going to do it. What I heard is every other week, but I think they're going to speed up the process and make it every week. I don't know, but we'll find out by Friday, I'm sure. Oh, sorry.
ever looked into it.
We're looking at it. Here's the thing. Again,
Okay, I want all the details.
here's the thing. Every other president before President Trump could have said, hey, let's look at that and get the American people the information. What did he do? He stood up an interagency process with Department of War leading that effort to get out the documentation related to everything that you're talking about, not just from the FBI, from the IC and everywhere else. And so what do? We already delivered our first tranche of information to that committee.
So Kash Patel says that the documents are in and they've been delivered. And we've heard that, by the way, from congressional sources. We hear a bunch of earthquakes striking Area 51 in strange clusters. Obviously, tons of scientists are missing. Everybody's sort of pulling on these strings, says there's something there. Something's going on. Obviously, something's
But the scientists didn't go missing yesterday, dude. Benny is not that good. I'll be honest. He's okay, but this guy really, I watch him here and there, and he misses out on a lot of things on all his stories.
Going to happen. Donald Trump just yesterday at the White House. We're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future. I got to tell you, we're going to be releasing it. It's very solid, and it's very, very interesting.
The recent release of the UFO Files Part 1 by President Trump and the U.S. government, they even made a website called Aliens through the War Department, which is really strange because are we having a psyops going on here? But that recent release showed that there's a bunch of blurry images and things that pilots don't even understand what's happening, that they're saying could be aliens. But the question is, are they really aliens, or are they spiritual creatures and operating in the physical realm? What does the Bible actually have to say about this? Check out what former Special Forces combat veteran and police officer.
Spiritual creatures. Imagine. Can't. I can't imagine spiritual creatures needing UFOs. But maybe the UFOs, shh, listen, are from the spirit world. Huh. And guess where that spirit world is? You're not going to like it. Outside of the Matrix.
Sir Shane Winnings had to say about this.
But what do we learn here? In the end times, a demonic beast is going to perform insane signs and wonders for the purpose of deception. I'm just saying, do we not think that the enemy would try to deceive many through revealing himself, in different ways, to pilots, to people out in the desert, right? Scary things. The world calls it aliens because they don't know. The Bible says in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. If we get the knowledge, we can stop the destruction.
Oh.
What if the world could be told, these are not aliens, these are demons? Because God is real, angels are real, demons are real, heaven.
The Matrix has you. You know that those scientists got the Nobel Prize for proving the Matrix is real, that we're not even living in a real freaking world.
Is real. Hell is real. Like, you've got to understand this. Because when, we have a world, this is fascinating to me. We have a world that says God isn't real. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in angels and demons. They believe in paranormal activity.
Right.
And they love to watch movies about it, and they believe that it's possible. They believe in haunted houses. So you do believe in demons that haunt houses, but you don't want to believe in angels, because then you would have to believe maybe that there's God, but you'll believe in aliens, even though we have no evidence for any of that.
The release of these UFO
that's not really true what he said, because most people who don't believe in God don't believe in the demons or the ghosts or all that. What they say, because I know I'm one of them, but I don't know. I believe there's a God, but it's not the traditional God in the sense of the white hair, the beard, and I am everything. In 6 days I rested on the set. No, I believe the program he wrote in 6 days, and on the 7th day goes, that's it. I've had enough of this shit. Enter. And he rested. When we see ghosts and spirits, you know what we're seeing, right? Imprints of what was, still echoing in the other worlds or matrices. Do you hear what I'm saying? It has to blow your mind. This is why they wanted to talk to the pastors. They wanted to get their peeps. Hey, they only talked to 3 of them? I don't understand why they only talked to 3 of them. There's millions of, I almost said it, of pervert priests out there. Thousands, I know. But I'm telling you, man, if you believe, just try to believe something else for a change. Just imagine that God isn't what you think, that God is some programmer, right? Just like the movie The Matrix Revolutions Part 2, when you met the creator, the architect rather. That's Dorothy, baby. $2. Welcome to the show. Thank you for the super chat. End times catastrophic thinking is not the way. But it always happens, Dorothy. And we're about to have another one. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You know why it has to happen? Start over. It didn't go well. Got to start over. Reset the game. If you're not a gamer, you may not get that. But just imagine playing Missile Command and everything gets blown up in that world every time you lose, right? And they throw out that nuke. Takes the whole game down, starting over. Black holes are a way to clean up. See, there's only so much time for all of this to exist. The black holes eat everything up. That's a virus. Yeah. And that virus rips you to shreds. It deprograms you. And you get eliminated, basically. We want to stay away from the black holes. But you can't avoid it. It's part of the matrix. I don't know, man. It's crazy time. Thank you for the $2. Hey, I forgot, if you guys want to help support Truthology for Ufology, that's how you do it, with the Super Chat, Super Sticker, or PayPal Cash App. All those links are in the show description. You could even become a member. Member. It all goes to the same me. Me. What movie? The Matrix. Well, the last one. All right. Thank you, Dorothy. End times, catastrophic thinking is not the way. It's not the way, but you have to think of it all. I believe what you're saying. It shouldn't be the way. It's not the way, but don't worry. It's not the way, but it's a way. Prophet Yahweh, a way. No way, Dorothy.
Files right from the Pentagon. They're releasing what they are saying, the Pentagon, that is, these kind of quote unquote never before seen files on unidentified anomalous phenomena, also known as UFOs. I know that NBC is still combing through all of these files. Is there anything there, or is this a distraction to what is going on overseas?
So I hate that. Anytime something gets dropped, it's a distraction. The only distraction is your own mind. How much time do you need to spend on the UFO files and go, oh my God, it's been 6 weeks. I forgot all about what's going on. Oh, that's not how life works. I hate when people say shit's a distraction. There's no such thing as a distraction. There isn't. I don't care what you think. Think about it. You've been hearing it for so long, you're automatically thinking it's true because they keep saying it. It's a distraction for those who let it be. But even then, let's say you spend 4 hours today on those files. You got the rest of the day to go look at Israel or Pakistan or Iran, Iraq, whatever you want. It's not a distraction. It's just something else. That's it. Hate distraction talk. Sorry, Dorothy. Wait, who said that? I don't know.
It actually may be a little bit in between the two. Definitely. I mean, look, the president said he wanted these things released, so they're following that order, putting them out. It is a huge amount of documents. I was shocked when we started going through them. So like there's 17 pages of lists of documents, and then within some of those lists, there's 150, 200 plus pages of documents. Yeah, so it's a huge volume of information. I will say the ones that I started going through,
it's a drop in the bucket.
I didn't say, oh, wow, here's the proof. It's out. It's really, here's the proof that
they're
we needed.
Purple or they green?
Yeah.
Are they green or are they purple?
Nobody
Do they
knows.
have antennas or do they not? Or do they look like us? Are they us?
It's still unclear.
It's called a diffraction spike. You've probably seen this before in telescope photography, where bright points of light suddenly create giant cross-shaped patterns. But those spikes aren't physically attached to the object. They're created by the optics and sensor system itself.
All right, so I've got a couple of debunks in here. Some of you may have seen the Mick West one from 2 years ago. I put it in here because it's interesting how right he was. And this is somebody else.
And suddenly the chandelier footage starts looking very different, because instead of seeing a craft generating energy, we might actually be looking at a very bright heat source interacting with an infrared camera system. And if that source just happened to be a military illumination flare descending beneath a parachute during a nighttime training operation, well, this entire video starts making a lot more sense.
Hey guys, today we're going to be testing out the IWA 37mm illumination parachuting flare round. It's a brand new round that's just going to hit the market real soon. Here we go.
Nice.
Wow.
Pretty high.
That is bright.
That is bright.
You can kind of see the parachute too.
At around the 1 minute and 2 second mark, you can briefly see what appears to be a parachute above the bright light source. It happens fast. I honestly missed it the first several times watching the footage. But once I slowed it down frame by frame, it stopped looking like a strange craft, and it started looking a lot more like a parachute flare. The drifting movement, the smoke trail, the thermal bloom, the apparent tether, and the optical spike pattern, and suddenly this entire video starts feeling a lot more human. And look, I want this footage to be something otherworldly as much as anyone, but wanting something to be true can't be the same as proving it. If we want the subject taken seriously, we have to question the footage we want to believe. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's still something here we don't fully understand. But right now, I think the chandelier UAP was most likely a military parachute flare, captured through an infrared camera system, causing a diffraction spike. Not aliens, not anti-gravity, just a good old reminder that cameras can fool us. You be the judge.
Unreal, man. That makes me so angry.
This still image of a spiky UFO was released by Jeremy Corbell. It's called Chandelier, because apparently this is what a chandelier looks like if you lay on a table and look up at one. When I first saw it, I recognized it looked rather like a diffraction artifact. Bright lights or heat sources often have a star-shaped diffraction pattern around them. This can vary a lot by camera, lighting conditions and the settings, but generally depends on the shape of the aperture and the configuration of support vanes in a compound mirror telescope. On Metabunk, Flarkey recognized the camera as a Raytheon MTS-B, and we see that does indeed have the support vanes in the main camera. There's not a lot of sample footage, but we do see diffraction spikes. But what are these weird club or arrow-shaped spikes? They do look odd. But in a video about the MQ-9 Reaper with a similar camera, I noticed a diffraction pattern that also had clubbed spikes. We also see from the lens flare that it has a square or diamond-shaped aperture, which is probably related. Then, John Phil published an analysis on Metabunk. Using the Maskulator software, he used images of the camera to create an input mask, which is then used to calculate the expected diffraction pattern. John also noticed a crucial point. The vanes on the MTS-B are apodizing, meaning they are a bit wavy. Putting that info into the Maskulator gives a diffraction pattern that has the odd club or arrow shapes. It was lacking the horizontal and vertical spikes, but those are a consequence of a square aperture. If we calculate that diffraction pattern and then add them together, we get something that looks very much like the chandelier. These results were also roughly replicated by Adams AT using a different program. Now, this is just a still image that looks like the expected diffraction artifact of the camera involved, but there's also a description of the object moving around weirdly. We also see what looks a bit like a smoke trail or a contrail. What fits all of these observations? Hard to say without seeing the video, but since this is thermal footage, we are looking at something hot, maybe an explosion, but if it actually moves around, then maybe an engine or a rocket motor. Possibly even a reflection of the sun. So it could be a missile or an aircraft in the distance flying away. The hot engine or rocket motor gives the bright diffraction artifact. Perspective compression makes the smoke trail look more dramatic than it actually was, and this could also give the illusion that the object is just moving up, down, left and right when it's really flying away at high speed along a slightly irregular path. Again, hard to say without the video. But from this photo matching the diffraction pattern of the MTS-B camera, there's really no reason to suspect that this is the actual shape of the craft or that it's non-human technology. Cool story, but as in so many cases, the physical evidence points towards the mundane.
Skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. Official tells Fox First, while past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files. And there's also a fresh look at some historical records. There's this from Apollo 17 included in this big document dump. One of the astronauts says, we've got a few very bright particles or fragments or something that go drifting by as we maneuver. The control center says, Roger, understood. Another astronaut says, there's a whole bunch of big ones on my window down there, just bright. It looks like the 4th of July out of Ron's window. Another astronaut says, yes, now you can see some of them in shape. They're very jagged, angular fragments that are tumbling. This exchange has long been dismissed as floating insulation. But now the White House is saying, while this photo has been previously released and discussed by keen observers, there is no consensus about the nature of the anomaly. And this all started, of course, because we asked the president about it in February.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know,
So aliens are real.
well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it.
So the government is trying to answer the question, do aliens exist? And the answer is, they don't know, but in an effort of transparency, they are giving us all of the material that they are working with as they try to answer that question.
Come on.
So one of the most intriguing objects, and I initially got very excited until I started hearing some of the quite plausible debunks, was PR-38, the cruciform, the 8-pointed star object.
What's that on the bottom?
Let's have a look at this, and then can you please give me your take on what this might be?
Yeah, so it's clearly a very hot object. So you can see behind it, it leaves a trail.
That's weird.
And these optical systems, that they're designed to not have that happen. The military side of the house, they use cooled systems.
Look at this
so
on the bottom.
what that does is it makes sure that any thermal energy that the sensor receives through the lens gets sucked out of the sensor, so you don't have
I
these
thought that was in the video. I'm like, I don't remember that.
effects where you can see trails and other blooming and all these other kinds of things that are unwanted. So the fact that this is leaving trails is saying that this is a very highly energetic object. Its temperature that it's outputting is far greater than the background noise or the background temperature. So there's a major delta in the temperature. And that's why we're seeing this trail. Now, if you take a regular uncooled thermal sensor, and if you pass by the sun with it, you'll see that it does exactly the same thing. So you'll see a trail that's exactly the size of the sun.
Look at the parachute. I mean, what does he even care? Just talk about the parachute.
We're
Watch.
seeing this trail. Now, if
Well,
you
here
take
it
a
comes.
regular uncooled thermal sensor, and if you pass by the
watch
sun
it.
with it, you'll see that it does exactly the same thing. So you'll
And
see a
again,
trail that's exactly
whoa.
the size of the sun that's get left behind.
Isn't that funny how the flare goes the opposite direction?
So for here, the idea is
Idiots.
when you look at the trail, it's actually showing you what the size of the object is. So this is more likely something like the size of an egg or a Tic Tac, like the other videos that we see where they're just round objects moving through the scene. That's just really hot, and so hot that it's actually oversaturating the sensor
Yep.
with photons and thermal energy, which then once you go beyond a certain threshold, then everything kind of gets thrown out. Then the optics are, playing games with how to manage, and the electronics are trying to figure out how to even read and identify exactly what kind of information it's getting from the sensor that's going to write to the file that's the recording. So there's a lot going on with this one. Really interesting. I don't believe that the actual star is the shape of the object. I think that's an artifact of the lens or the sensor or both.
Rose Cuckold shaking his head like he knows. It's embarrassing. You can watch the rest of that on Goof On. Yeah, it is crazy what has happened. And people just are going nuts. Nobody is happy. Everybody's underwhelmed. Everybody. So UFOs were witnessed by astronauts, as we were watching here on Apollo during the confidential mission report in the newly released Trump UFO files. This explains the stark difference in behavior in the pre-flight and post-flight press conference. The first unusual thing that we saw, I guess, was one day out or something, pretty close to the moon. It had a sizable dimension to it, so we put the monocular on it. We were seeing all sorts of little objects going by at the various dumps, and then we happened to see this one brighter object going by. Check this out.
Taking the trip of all trips of mankind. Can I ask each one of you, which place would you like to go to for a vacation when you come back to Earth? Well, I think that the situation being what it is now, the place I would most like to go immediately is the Lunar Receiving Laboratory. If I'm able to go there, we will have succeeded.
I'd like to introduce the Apollo 11 crew, astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin. Neil?
Wow.
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. We all here and the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that adventure over its developing and unfolding in the past months and years. It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of them.
Their personalities weren't even the same. Chicken Coop Confidential. We've got 3 C's right there. A $2 super dono. That's a donation with no comment or emoji. It's just pure man love. Ugh, I hate even saying that, bro. I'm sorry. It's just, fist bumping. That's what we'll do. It's a man fist bumping. Fist bump man super chat. Grazie. Grazie. A continuing supporter of Goof On. They did look shell-shocked. Yep. How about Neil deGrasse Hole Tyson suddenly shifting from being dismissive to being interested in UFOs again? I know. Why? They had a talk with him saying, Neil deGrasse Hole, the public loves you and you love, right? Oh, I do. Yeah. Oh. He's going to be our scientist go-to guy. Hey, it's better than Avi Loeb. Avi Earlobe. What a crock of duty is he? Did you see how he says he was vindicated somehow? I didn't want to read it. I don't care. I hate Avi Loeb. He is the worst of the worst of the worst. He's so fake. Everything about Avi Loeb is a lie. You know what I mean? Stephen Greer? Yeah, oh boy. He thinks he knows everything. He says J.D. Vance was psyoped into believing aliens are demons and breaks down the narratives being used to deceive political leaders about UFOs and aliens. Oh boy, if they could only give me more than a minute on this. Who has the time? Check it out.
Valet has a CIA document describing in 1985 using man-made UFOs, reverse engineered from real ET ones, to abduct, quote, peasants is what.
Wait a minute. How? How did they back engineer alien technology and make our own flying saucers in 1985. I ask, what Bob Lazar was saying, no. Back engine, no. See, he's just talking shit.
It says in Brazil and Argentina in 1985 for its psychological warfare value. So you see, I'm afraid Mr. Vance was the victim of a psyop. And this is one of the big psyops or psychological warfare operations, is to convince people that, well, they don't exist at all. That was it for decades. Now they do exist, but they're a threat to us, which they're not. And if that isn't good enough, they're not aliens at all, but they're demons working from the right hand of Satan, which is not true either.
You don't know that, bro. Why does Greer think he knows everything? Sometimes, Greer, you just got to say, I don't know. Because how does he know? You know, he might be right, though. I mean, for real. Because the Bible-thumping folks, the Christians from thousands of years ago, had no name for them. So they called them demons.
So they're trying to push forward agendas to sort of deceive our leaders and the public. And they keep changing what the deception is. But
Yep.
the Dr. Lay.
Yep, they are. They keep changing it. He's right. He got one right. That sucks. Hold on a second. So today on X, there were so many videos of UFOs that are so bad. There's no way I could show them. And it was, everybody was doing it. Everybody was posting something that was utterly ridiculous. This huge citywide UFO they're trying to say was real. And, you know, it would be on the news. We would have heard about it. You know, I hate this stuff. I just do. It's gotten out of control. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody, including me. So the Men in Black, can't go anywhere without them, right? They wiped pics of giant UFO, an ex-Marine suggests in this interview. I thought I put this on. I may have played this the other day. I don't remember.
Something out there, and former U.S. Marine Michael Herrera has seen it.
Michael Herrera can suck it.
2009, while stationed in Indonesia, Herrera's battalion was assisting with humanitarian operations, providing security for supply drops to the locals. Once there, he saw a rotating object changing colors and emitting a humming sound. After failing to reach his battalion leader, he moved in to investigate and began filming with a small camera. But moments later, Herrera says he was ambushed by men in black as the craft shot towards the ocean at lightning speed without making a sound. Once back at camp, he checked his camera only to find the battery and memory card were gone.
Wrong answer, McFly. I don't buy it.
So what happened next? Here to tell us is former U.S. Marine and whistleblower Michael Herrera and UFO researcher Dr. Stephen Greer. Great to see you both. Thank you so much. So, Michael, tell us what happened after you saw the video and you thought it was, you know, the flying object, and then it got deleted, no longer to be seen?
Yeah, so when we got back to, it was in Subic Bay in the Philippines, and that's when we were on Liberty. So we ended up having the first night, it came back to on ship, and my camera was on my rack. So the memory card and the battery were taken out of that.
Did you see it taken out by someone?
No, I did not. No, I had it secured in my locker, of course.
Listen. Why does it have to be the Men in Black? Why couldn't it just be somebody? Somebody took it. Somebody didn't want me to have the evidence, not the Men in Black.
Okay, and another battery that I had for a backup, so I popped that one in. Nothing happened with that camera. So subsequently, after we got back to Camp Hansen, there was a Air Force Lieutenant Colonel that met up with us and some of the guys that were with me and basically made us forcefully sign a non-disclosure agreement and a TSSI document that stated
kind of like
that
John
we couldn't
Stewart,
talk about what we saw. We were threatened with treason, with a capital crime, including death or imprisonment. So that's what happened after.
Okay.
What about death to your family? You notice how they never bring the family in? They always say, oh, death, to them. No, I don't care. You can kill me. You just can't touch my family. I would be more afraid of that than me dying. Because you don't want people to die because of you, especially family. Michael Herrera, you're a pussy. He is. Him and his juiced up arms. Can I I have the drone footage. This is a drone. This is the one that goes through the windmills. It's a drone. It's gotta be. It's the only thing that makes sense. A UFO wouldn't do this. It's a dot, by the way. And at one point, it looks like a drone to me. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to tell, but it goes by. Did it already happen? Shoot. I'm telling you, I saw something that looked like it had 4 rotors on it, like a drone. Slowing down. Turns around. Says hi. Waves. Moons everybody. Now let's watch it. There's some really weird maneuvers it did right there. Could a drone have done those same maneuvers? Yes, probably, but I thought they were pretty tight. Yeah, right around here, watch. Right at the end. Yeah, that was it. Watch. It does this, I think. Coming up. You know what? I got fooled. It was the cameraman. The cameraman was moving the same direction, and it looked like it was stopping. It's all parallax. Pareidolia. No, not pareidolia. It's just a dot. Scary, sad. I am so... Now, I got to show you this. This is found footage. I don't even want to show this. From 1940 through 1970. What was hidden for decades? Look at this thing. Stupid. Look at it.
I just wanted to make sure that he was.
It looks real.
Me sharing,
it had to touch the belly of it without any gloves.
Ramifications to putting this out.
We're going to overlay these, but what's freaky is their faces, like a bunch of faces in that video, little faces.
Steven seems to think that there are either interdimensional portals opening and closing.
Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Facebook? Oh, that's not for this channel. You've got to worry about yourself today. Everybody's out to get you, Everybody wants to get you. All right, I got some stuff I wanted to show you. I think so. What time is it? It's already that time. All right. Jeremy UFO. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, no, not Jeremy. This is the Pentagon. Look, I don't know if this is AI. I'm trying to figure this out. Preserving the Legacy of John F. Kennedy Jr. This is a commentary account on X. See, this to me, I wasn't going to show it. It looks fake. But that's how the real stuff's going to look. But you take a look. They're saying this is real. I didn't see anywhere on the page here, I know it's TikTok, where it said AI. Because you have to let people know you're using AI, right? I don't know. The weird thing about this is, guys, I have something like this on video. That scares the shit out of me. That's why I wanted to show, and some of you may have seen it. I have a video of an egg-shaped UFO. And all of a sudden, it blossoms and it opens up and out comes silvery shit and then it closes back up. What balloon does that? And it gets so big that how do they go back inside? How do they hide behind it if it was a balloon and then those were many balloons? I've got the best, and I know I do, civilian captured balloon. I'm making a video about it and other stuff. That's why you saw the video I put out today. That's the one. That's the first one, and we're going to try to do 2 a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this is weird. If that's real, then I know what I have is definitely cool. And I always said mine was balloons, right? I always went, it's balloons. But it's not. It's not. Maybe I could find it real quick. I know I have it on the Wayback Machine on my old channel, my old website. I have it right here. All I have to do is look up for football thing and I'll find it. It won't take too long. But just give me a minute and I'll find it. And you're going to like, oh my God, that is the best UFO. Because it doesn't make sense. That's what's weird. Let me bring you on with me. Instead of just looking at me, looking at you, looking at me. So this is my old website, CN UFOs. And controlled explosion. That's not a cigar shape. Flashing craft, flashing. Phoenix lights. All right. I have to go backwards. I'm sorry. I think it's around page 2, 3, or 4. Glowing unusual chemtrail, moving object stuff. That's a good one. Yeah, this is so fun. I can't wait to show this to you. Humanoid's good. Pulsing object. Those are flares or flares. UFOs. I'm going to show you the best UFO you've ever seen. And you're going to be like, yeah, you got one there. I'm telling you, it's the best orb or round object, football-shaped object you've ever seen. I kid you not. Cylinder UFO was balloons. Pretty sure. All right, it's not on page 2. Let's go to page 3. That's not it. Spinning metallic object. I don't think this is it, but let me make sure because it could be. It could be. There won't be any sound. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, wow. That is a weird one, but it's not it. Hold on. Get it out of there. It's so weird. You guys are still seeing the page, and I took it down for a second. Okay. Incredible. Fast, jellyfish, jumping lights, brilliant, pulsing, a must-see triangle. That's a good one. Awesome large orb, another huge orb. Come on. Hold on. No, it's in the daytime, so that's good. I know that, which is good. All right, number 4. I believe we're getting there. Yeah, it's coming up. Spy Guy. That was fun. That was a good one. Come on, Richie. Let's get lucky. Spy Guy was great. All right. And then page 5. Well, it's got to be here somewhere. If not, I'm going to be upset. This is a great sighting right here. Great sighting. We'll come back to that. UFO at the visit from a friend. That was a good one. Slowly spinning and changing directions. I don't think that's it. UFO fleet. Golden boys, those are cool balloons. But I'm getting close. This might be one of them. I don't know. I think this might be one. Let me take a look. This is it. This is it. I found it. I told you I knew what I was doing. Jesus, not much time either. Let me close this. This is crazy. Okay, I want you to just look at it. It's in high 8, and it's a football shape, right? You agree? It's kind of oblong in a way, right? Okay, ready? Right? Here it comes. It's going to explode. There it comes. It's getting there. Here it comes. They're opening. They just opened up the case. Show us. There it is. What the hell just happened? And it goes back inside. Boop. Come on. The video's a lot longer than that and much cooler later on. I took the advice of a friend who said, just put 30 seconds up so people don't have to wait forever for it to download. And back then he was right. Watch one more time. So if it was balloons, where are they? Why aren't they showing off, like whipping around? It was windy that day and it's going against the wind. Then by the time we get up here, right? There it is. It comes out from there. Oh, I can't go step by. But look at that. It literally opened up. It's weird, right? They look like balloons, but they're going to go back in. What? How could that be? It makes no sense. No sense at all to look like that to this. Right? That to that to this to that to those. I don't know. It's when you see the long version, because this is like a 5-minute video. And on this day, I wound up capturing a fleet of something. Look at that weird color. I know the sun is hitting these balloons. If it is a balloon, I know I keep saying it, but what else can it be? And then a green? I mean, why is that one green and this one's that color? Right? Isn't that weird? Uh-huh. I'm telling you. I got the goods, babe. I got the goods. I really do. And then it goes back in. And that's just one of probably 30 videos I have that I can't explain stuff. It's crazy. Let me get rid of that for a second because I wanted to show you one more. Oh, hold on. You guys can't tell what's going on. That's right. There we go. Yeah, I want to show you what chemtrails used to look like because chemtrails don't look the same anymore. Hold on. Because now they made them huge. I mean, they used to make them huge. My bad. Look how big that is. We don't get them that low anymore. And look at the little, this is what we get nowadays, that little guy. So I'm trying to show the big one and the little one. Look at that. It just gives you a perspective on how big it really is with that regular sized contrail. It's nuts. Look at it. It's just a little dot in there, a little airplane. That's how big these other trails are. Look at that guy. It's crazy. I've got the best chemtrail videos on the planet. They're just absolutely bizarre, some of these. Here, I'll show you a really weird one. If I Oh, I wanted to show you this UFO that looks like it's on a pogo stick. Oh, you'll see. It goes in reverse too, I think. Let me see if this is the... Yeah, this one is so so bizarre. And I purposely don't move the camera so you can actually see the pogo stick motion that it's propelling itself with. It's weird. Here it is. Let me back it up. I hope I get it taken off. These videos are so damn short. See it? It stopped, it moved up, and then it's going to go to the left. It's going to take off. Boom. Whoa. And I couldn't catch up to it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So there it is, and it takes off. One more time. Boomerang. Why did I say boomerang? Pogo stick. Watch it. And then it's going to go left. Right now. Crazy. It just took off like a bat out of hell. Like, how did I see that? I always wonder. Some of these things were just there, right for the taking. All right. Enormous. Let's see. Yeah, these are the first ones I put up. I don't like these. Let me go to page 1 again, or 2. I'm sorry. This, so remember when Jeff Willis was here and he was showing us these orb things? You know, they were even better back in the day. Watch this one I'm going to show you. This thing gets so big, it's encouraging. I wish I could show you guys in better quality, but it is what it is. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and a go. Here it goes. It balloons up like you wouldn't believe. Whoa. Oh, this isn't the big one. I thought this was the big one. That was pretty big, but there's one I have that's right by here, I think. Yeah, no, this one's not the big one. I remember those days. I remember capturing that. And I'm like, this can't be real, you know? There's no way I'm seeing all these UFOs. Why aren't other people seeing it? I kept saying. Here's a freaky trail. I think this is the coolest chemtrail. I think this is the one I want you to see. And it looks like finger bones or something. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is it. I've never seen a chemtrail like this since. Only this 1 year. And that was it. Isn't that weird? There's some that I have that look like bones, like bony fingers. Isn't that wild? I see. I still say wild. 21 years ago. Angus. What is that? You know what I mean? That is some freaky stuff. Look at this on the left. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I imagined the engine was going. Boom, 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 boom. What was that? I just heard a squeak like a balloon right under me. All right. Should we look for one more? I can go one more. Rows of chemtrails with the sun. Nah. Humanoid returns. Nah. Huge pulsing object. All right. Half the size of moon. I don't know. Let's take a look. Shall we? September 22nd. This was a good week. I remember that week. I caught the coolest Phoenix Lights video. That's what we called them back then, but it was pretty cool. The next day I got on September 23rd. Here we go. It was pulsing. A still frame of nothing. And again. Notice the time? Right before sunrise. 2 hours before sunrise to 2.5. And 2 to 2.5 hours after sunset, you will catch satellites just like this. This one's spinning. So that's probably why, right? That's probably why I captured it the way it is. I don't know. But it was still really dark out. I'm sure if you pulled up September 22nd, 05, you can see when the sun rose. You know, I could ask Gemini. Let's do that for she's and G's. Sunrise, Phoenix, Arizona, September 22nd, 2000. Whoops. 2005. Go, Gemini. 6:14 a.m. Told you. Within the hour. It's what I do, folks. What I do. What I do, you know, I want to show you something cool. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm not even going to say it. You'll just watch. Well, you'll see it when it pops up. Hey, Richie. All right, here we go. Last one. Not even a UFO. That's right. 2005. You ready? I don't know how good this is. Oh, it's off the TV. I don't miss this. You can see it covering everything. Isn't that wild? Haboob, I mean. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. Hope you enjoyed the, the show. I hope you had some fun. The video I made today is up on the channel. Just look it up. It's the most recent. And I think you'll enjoy the last part of it where I'll just play it. I'm going to play my conclusion. That's what we'll do. I'll leave the show with this. Thank you all very much. I love you all. Thank you for supporting the show. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App, those people. All the newcomers, the veterans, for hanging out in the chat. And please like, share, subscribe, comment. I'd like to know what you think about what you saw tonight. If I can do anything differently, let me know. Other than that, go scratch. No, I'm kidding. Have a great night. And if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology, that is. Good night, everybody. And I'll let you go with this. The reason I made this video primarily about the chandelier video, it's because the way people were acting in the government, saying this is unbelievable. There's 8 points on this thing. It makes no sense that it's even flying. There's no seats. It doesn't look like it has any propulsion system, yet here it is moving about left and right in sharp angled turns. And all along, there's a parachute, peeking in the frame in the opposite direction of the flare. You know how the give and go with gravity, just like a balloon with a string, the balloon goes this way, the string does this. And it's a total marrying of movement. And the kinetic energy that is used by the wind, and pushes the parachute this way, and then it'll eventually drag along the flare this way. Then when it pulls this way, then this will go this way, and then it'll pull back. You know what I'm saying. So how in the world did the government experts not figure it out? This is why I am talking the way I am. They're supposed to be much better at this than us, and I'm telling you, they are worse. See, they've only got a few years in ufology, 4, 6. We've got myself 22. We've got other people with 30. We've got some people with 50 years that looked at that thing and said, what are you talking about UFO for? That looks like this. It looks like that. Everybody had a feeling something was wrong with it. Because why? When it's too good to be true, it isn't. It isn't true. It isn't a UFO, is what I mean. You know what I mean? It's very frustrating to be on our end because nobody really listens to us. I'm not able to be on TV. I asked to be on Tucker Carlson, but they wanted me to bring in an alien or a piece of a ship, something that would bring in viewers, because me? Who am I going to bring in? Why would anybody want to watch me? But let me tell you something. They watched Lou Elizondo's first time. Yeah, because why? Because he worked for the government. He's this, espionage guy, and he may know stuff nobody else knows. Well, here's the joke. Here's the rub. He knows less. For a guy to make a couple of huge mistakes, a reflection off a window, the agriculture circle, it's embarrassing that he's even in this field anymore. And I'm talking all of these people should be scrubbed, and they need to bring in people like me, people who are actual boots on the ground. And I'm not talking about anybody you see on TV. Get rid of them all. We need to have us, the civilians, citizens, who actually have experiences, real ones that are ignored because our government's still living in the 60s with that brain thought that, the public is stupid. They'll say anything. They'll lie. Really? Talk about projecting. That's all the government does, is lie. And they're very bad at figuring out what these objects are, because Jeremy Corbell was given 12, 13 things that were supposed to be legitimate, and they've all been debunked. Now, I've given Corbell a pretty hard time over the years, and you know what? I do feel a little bad about it, because I figured out what he's doing. He's just relaying the information that's given to him. It's not really what he thinks. He never has an opinion on it because he does that on purpose. Some things he'll say, there's no way that's a UFO, or I really don't know. But he never will admit that he was wrong on anything, because he really wasn't. It's the government that duped him. I feel bad for the guy. He's being used. And then he's using us to get the truth. Where does everybody go for the truth? The internet, the public. So why not talk to us? It's unbelievable we're in this situation again, with more videos coming out within the next couple of weeks. I'm embarrassed for ufology, and there's nothing else I can say except we need to have the civilians talk. I'm tired of listening to Lou Elizondo, and Ross Coulthart has got to be, I don't know what he is, but he's just going with whatever sounds the best. Then you got Greer, right? Greer and his ideology, and the guy is like the Alex Jones of ufology. He says so much shit. Eventually, something's bound to stick. So you can't even trust Greer. You could have trusted him 30 years ago, 25 years ago, but not now. Now he's all about and his ego. No, that's money. That's not an itch. But I've got an itch and I got to scratch it. And I think you guys feel the same way. Something's got to change, and it's got to change now. And I don't know why the government's doing this. Why are we releasing all of this stuff if it's nothing? You might as well show us more dots. I tell you what, the government, they're going to release the next batch of videos, and it's supposed to be 40-something high definition, blow your mind, smoking gun evidence. And this is it. If it isn't that, we need to end it with the government. Cut all ties. Don't give them any airtime. Screw them. I say we voice our opinions loud and continuously until we're heard. And if Tucker Carlson ever sees this, why don't you have me on the show so I can tell you the truth? The truth is, my friends, the government doesn't want us to know about any technology they may have found, and all of the stuff. Oh, it's demons. Really? They need UFOs to fly around? No, that's the problem with the government as well. Lou Elizondo told us that when he went to go ask for evidence to the higher ups, they said, no, Lou, you want this information, you're going to find out it's demons, bro. We're not going to have you tell the world about the demons. And that's that Bible-thumping ufology I thought we were done with. But it's peeking out, and it's showing its ugly head again, and it's making everything difficult to get the truth out. Demons. So tell us about these demons. Tell us about them. Where do they come from? Here. They're not from another planet. I think we found technology. And anything that crashed, we found and we're trying to fly it and screwed up and crashed. It's the only logical explanation. Even in the 1800s, in the 1600s, they found that technology and they had wars with the technology. It's not aliens. How's that? Would you believe that? How would you like to know that the ancient technologies from 30,000 years ago are now what we see in the sky? That to me is just as exciting as aliens. And I want that technology to be known, and I think we deserve it. This is not ufology, what we're seeing. Sorry. This is just a lie. It's a cover-up for something bigger. And next year, we're supposed to have this object heading our way, and now we don't even know if that's legitimate. And then you got people like Bledsoe who feed us orbs, and it's BS. Usually they're out of focus and too far away and dotty-ish, and the guy is a complete lie. He may have had that one encounter many years ago, but after that, he's been chasing the rainbow. The guy is a fraud, and I'll say it right now. And the telepathy tapes is also another fraud. And who's that girl, Bergowin, whatever her name is, she put on the blindfold and is peeking through them? What are we doing giving these people airtime? This is why I don't have guests on the show. How can I? I wouldn't trust a word they're saying. None of them are good. All of these people in the government, they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad people. They're bad for ufology. And if they can live a life where every day is a lie, like the telepathy tapes people and this lady with the blindfold, Bergowin or whatever her name is, how do you live every day knowing you're lying? For the betterment of my paycheck, yeah. She charges, what, 10, 15,000? This is the girl with the blindfolds on. And she'll teach you how to be a hoaxer, in my opinion. And then when it doesn't work, oh, you just aren't doing it right. Anyway, I'm going off on everything right now because everything has been BS. from the dummies, the Moomy Doomies of Jaime Maussan, the Peruvian dummies. That's totally stupid and not even real. The spheres don't fly. One time we get them on video, and even that's edited kind of wildly, like I pointed out and debunked. And even the X-ray that was done on that sphere was total bullshit. It went through to the other side, and they're saying that's the inside of it. No, it's the other side. What are we doing? Everything is a hoax, a lie. It's deceit. It's all for this. And why? How do you live with yourself? Unreal. You know you're lying. And yet, it's okay because you're making money, right? You're terrible people. Terrible. And that's all I got to say about that. Don't forget, we are Goof on Paranormal News now, and we're on every night at 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. And all we do is tell the truth. Yeah, it's hard to hear it this way. But I'm tired of being nice. I'm just sick of it. It doesn't get us anywhere. So I'm going to be vocal. I'm going to be my Italian temper, and I'm going to explain the way I explain things, loud and proud, instead of lying and dying inside. Thanks for your time. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
There's a good thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies of why did it download treasured sites in Christianity?